welcome back to Weave Your Kids. Today I'm outside on a windy day, back in the woods, looking for some wonderful Y sticks again. But this time we are going to be making some stick people. So you're going to be using two Ys, turning them upside down, and we'll be connecting those. And so we begin with our sticks. Clearly, when some of them come back, they're going to need a little bit of editing. This one here, I'm going to make a little bit smaller to give me a more perfect looking Y. And this one here, again, to give me another Y. To create our stick figure, if you are using your two Y sticks, by placing one on top of the other, and working out whereabouts that needs to be. You can see that we have got 2 feet here and 2 arms here. And these seem to fit together quite well in terms of proportions. Yes, and so I think I'm going to connect these 2 sticks. Cut yourself a piece of twine or wool, and you're going to connect both parts of your sticks. To connect, you are going to wrap around the join area, just like this, and then you are going to wrap as though we are going under one arm, round, and under the other arm, and round, and crisscrossing round and over, just to make sure that those arms are fairly secure. Tying off at what is going to be the back of our figure with an overhand knot. As you can see, sometimes some of the bark will come off. You just want to remove any loose material. And here we have our relatively secure figure for our stick doll. Next, take your clay. And you're going to work your clay, and this is going to become the face. So you need to create a shape that is going to be in keeping with the size of your doll, to create kind of an oval shape initially. To create our faces, we're going to use our fingers and just place our fingers into the clay to create a kind of socket area and also a brow. And for our noses, we're going to pinch together with our pinchy fingers one direction, created a bit of a ridge like so, and we're just going to then squish it the other way to give us a little bit of a nose. And then I'm just going to push the clay back and around on the sides, and I'm just going to use my nail and my thumb, rubbing it around there to create a mouth, and just take some of that clay around, and we have a very simple face structure there. And once you're happy with your head, and you are going to insert the stick into the back. While my clay is damp, I'm also going to start thinking about the hair that I'm going to attach. Obviously you can use whatever you have to hand. You can use twine, you can use wool, and I'm going to give this fella some blue hair. So I'm going to do this by cutting myself a lot of strands. As you can see, I'm just going to cut through all of my ends. Just going to take another length, and I'm going to tie that through the middle. And then I have hair which I can attach to my stick doll. Now as you can see, I'm attaching in the center here, and I'm just pulling the hair around the face to pull round and tie at the back. So if I turn that over, you'll see what I've done there. And I'm just going to cut myself another piece of wool. And if I turn over the doll, I can tie the first set of hair into place. You're going to see I have obviously a bald patch on the back, which I can cover by placing some more hair underneath. Next, we're going to be considering the clothing of the body. And I'm going to be starting with a top. It's going to cover the whole of the upper body. So choose your next color and away we go. To wrap your body, take yourself a nice long piece of yarn. You're going to be tying on your yarn with a simple overhand knot. Again, around the top area, because this is where we have the weakness in terms of the structure. So we're just going to tie that on nice and tight. So just make sure that your piece is available, but you're going to take it around to the back so that it's out of view. And then you are going to be able to wrap. Now when you're wrapping, try to keep this piece available at the back and at the top there. It's something you are going to be able to tie your wrap back onto when we come back to the top. As you can see, when we are turning, I'm just trying to make sure that it keeps it nice and smooth. Now this is a nice one to do with children. You can ask the child to hold the stick doll and turn, and you can help keep the yarn in place, or you can in fact do it the other way around. When you come to the end of a piece of yarn, you're very simply going to tie your next one on. You can take your two pieces and then create a knot and pull tight. Continue with your wrapping as you were before. And I'm going to take this one off and down one arm. To introduce another colour, at any point you're just going to tie on your next colour that you want to have and wrap a couple of times with the other piece. So I'm taking two pieces of yarn around and just covering over the end, pulling that down. And now I'm going to leave the yellow yarn break away. That's it. Hold this one down as well and take the red yarn around so I can give a stripy jumper. And once you come to the end of the area you want in your new colour, you can either tie on the next strand or you can tie off and leave your strands working down the arm. And as you can see, I've still got my yellow strand here, and I'm just going to start again slightly higher than where I've knotted to continue working down the arm. Once you get to the bottom of the arm, you can either tie off with the strands that you have there, or if you've got plenty of yarn still left, you can of course wind back up to the top and start down on the other arm. Once you reach the area where you are joining once more to the body, you can crisscross it across the arms there now. And across to make sure I've covered up the area slightly here. And then it's just a simple case of continuing to wrap. I'm going to wrap down and all the way back up. Happy wrapping! Once we reach the join, it is literally a case then of working those pieces of yarn around to the back, as you can see here, and we're just going to tie in a nice overhand knot our pieces, and they can then be snipped, or you might want to leave your pieces. You don't know what else you may want to choose to attach at this point. Next, onto the trousers. Now you can continue to cover your stick person with the wrapping technique, and you can continue to wrap down the legs just in the same way as you did with the arms, with lots of different coloured wools. Or you can use some fabric, or this is a piece of felt. I have a square of felt here, and I'm going to create some trousers but with no stitching. You can lay your figure on top of one end, and we're just going to fold it in half between the leg area and kind of wrap around at the sides. And by doing that, we create some little trousers for our stick person. And then we can fold over the tops and we can just tie around the middle. And we're just going to take a piece of yarn and you can tie that around the middle structure. And we have some trousers. for our stick person. Now, I'm going to go back to our hair. So turning over our stick person, we can see that we still have a gap. We can obviously spread out the hairs, which in many cases is enough. Or to cover the gap, you can unravel your strands of wool so that they make more pieces of hair. Now, if you need to, you can always add some more hair in, which I think I'm going to need to do here. So I'm just going to take some twine. And again, as I did at the beginning, I'm just going to take a kind of length, fold over again, just to create some number of strands of hair. And then with my scissors, I'm going to cut through any lengths there. Cut myself another piece. And then in the same way as I did at the start, I'm just going to tie that around in the middle. I'm again going to unravel my strands, as you can see, and pull them out, just so I can create more hair. So I've just snipped away the tie that I put in originally to hold that hair in place. And I'm just going to take my second hair piece that I have created. Decide which way round you would like them. You can also brush the wool and the twine or whichever yarn you're using together, which creates a really kind of fluffy effect. And you can just place that onto your stick person, and you're going to kind of wrap the hair around the face, and turning around you can tie it off at the back. I've just taken a piece of twine, wrapped it around the hair, and just tying that hair at the back. Just make sure it's fairly secure from the front. What you can do is, if you've left your ties long enough, you can actually wrap them just underneath the chin, just wrap underneath, and then back around to the back of the hair, because from the front it doesn't really show that you are holding that there, and just tie in place, and that ensures that the hair is not only attached to the clay at the top, but also that the hair is attached to your stick. And there we have our amazing stick person, who is ready to be part of any puppetry that you would like to do in the woodlands or at home. I was thinking of giving this one a stick across its shoulder. And perhaps I'm going to use this to hold it in place. I'm also going to just tie that piece of stick on here so he doesn't lose it. Tie it on to his trouser belt, lower down, going across the body. And here I have my stick person, ready for a journey into the great outdoors. And after that, it comes down to how many materials you have, the time, and the inclination. So, happy crafting and happy wrapping. And we look forward to seeing some amazing, beautiful stick doll creatures in the near future. I'm looking forward to getting these two out into the woods for some storytelling sometime soon. Enjoy! Bye! Bye!